Today we are going to discuss about how to add integers. Okay, so what is integers? Integers are the positive and negative numbers. There are two methods of adding integer. The first method is use a number line. When we are using a number line, first we have to know what is a number line. A number line is a line which represents both negative and positive integers. On the left side there are negative integers, or on the right side there are positive integers. So when we have to add a positive integer on a number line, we move to the right side, or when we have to add a negative integer, we move to the left. Just suppose I am taking some examples here, minus 5 plus 9. We are adding a value here. We are adding plus 9 to minus 5. So minus 5 is here. We are adding plus 9. So we move 9 steps toward the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the answer will be 4. Now in the second example, you can see that we are adding a negative integers. When we are adding a negative integers, we move to the left. Now we are here on minus 2. So 1, 2. So the answer will be minus 4. Now the third example is 4 plus minus 6. Now again we are adding a negative integers. Now when we are adding a negative integers, we move to the left. So we are here on 4. Now we have to take 6 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer will be minus 2. Now we discuss about the second method. The second method is absolute value method. Absolute value method. Now what is the absolute value? When we remove the sign from a number, whether it's a positive or negative, then it's become absolute value. Now the first thing is same sign. When both the values have same sign, how we add them? Add the absolute values and use the common sign. Just suppose I taken some examples here. The values are minus 6 and minus 9 and we are adding them. Both the values minus 6 and minus 9 are negative here. When we have to add such values which have same sign, so what we do? We add their absolute values. So what is the absolute value of minus 6 here is 6, and absolute value of minus 9 is 9. So we add 6 plus 9, that is equals to 15. Now we have to use the same common sign. So the common sign here is minus, because minus 6 and minus 9 have common sign as minus. And the second example is 3 plus 11. Both the values are positive here. So what we do? We add their absolute values. So the absolute values are 3 and 11. 3 plus 11 is 14 and the common sign here is plus. So the answer will be positive 14. Now the second thing, if the values have different sign, subtract the smaller absolute value from the larger absolute value. Use the common sign as the number with the larger absolute value. What we do? We take the absolute values of both the number, we subtract the smaller absolute value from the larger absolute value and use the sign which have larger value. Now just suppose we take an example, minus 4 plus 6. So the absolute value of minus 4 is 4 and the absolute value of 6 is 6. Now what we have to do? We have to subtract the values. We have to subtract them. So when we subtract the values, minus 4 plus 6, so 6 minus 4, we are subtracting the smaller value from the larger value. So the answer will be 2. Now we use the sign with the larger absolute value. Use the sign with the larger absolute value. So the larger absolute value here is 6. The sign will be plus. So the answer will be plus 2. Now take the second example, minus 8 and plus 2. So the absolute value of minus 8 is 8 and the absolute value of 2 is 2. Now what we have to do? We have to subtract the values. So 8 minus 2 is 6. Now we use the sign with the larger absolute value. So the larger absolute value here is 8. So the sign with the 8 is minus. So the answer will be minus 6. Now the third example, 5 plus minus 7. So the absolute values are 5 and 7. And when we subtract 5 from 7, what we get? 2. Now we use the sign of the larger absolute value. So the larger value here is 7. So the sign with 7 is minus. So the answer will be minus 2. Now the third one, opposites. Opposites mean when we have given a number, just suppose minus 2. So what we take? We take opposite of it. We change the sign. So the minus 2 become plus 2. So then take an example, minus 2 plus 2. So both the numbers are here are opposite of each other. When we are adding opposites numbers, what we get? We always get a 0. Now taking another example. 4 plus minus 4. Both the values here are opposite. So what we are getting? 0. Now let's talk about subtracting the integers. To subtract an integer adds its opposite. What we do? We change the subtraction quotients into addition quotient. We change the signs with the second values. Just suppose the first example is 7 minus 11. So what we did? So the value here is 11. That is, we change the sign that it become minus 11 and we put plus between them. So now it become an addition problem. So 7 plus minus 11. That is the problem from the second part. Different signs. Now the signs are different. What we do? We take their opposites. We take their absolute values. So the absolute value of 7 or 11 is 7 or 11. So when we subtract them, what we get? We get 4 and we use the sign of larger absolute value. That will become minus 4. Now take the second part, minus 6 and minus 3. So the absolute values, first we convert them into a plus problem. So what we did? We take opposite of 3 is minus 3 and we put between plus here. Now minus 6 minus 3 become a problem of addition. So what we take here? We take the same sign problem. Here both the values have same sign, minus 6 and minus 9, and here minus 6 and minus 3. So what we do? We add them. So we add them, what we get? We get 9 and we use the common sign. So the answer will be minus 9. Now the next one, 4 minus 2. So we take the opposite of minus 2, that is plus 2, and we convert the minus sign here as plus. So the problem become addition problem. It is a simple 4 plus 2, that is equals to 6. Now here our adding integers and subtracting integers topic is complete. Thank you.